Well, for my business and mission partner, Elsa Wegener, how are you? This is a very nice book put out by Reader's Digest. I've been saving this to send to the Philippines because it's how to do things, how to fix things, how to do electrical, the tools needed. These are things useful in the Philippines, how to do plumbing, everything to do with building a house, mortar, using cement and mixing. And of course they have their methods of doing it, but this is a school and it can teach them Western, American, and European methods as well. How to put in a door knob, how to make a fence, stuff like that, all kinds of stuff, how to paint. So I'm going to put this in the box. Here it goes. I'm going to go put it in the box over here to ship over there. And what I'm going to do, kind of explain this on this video, so I'll send it to you. This is the inventory book. And of course, I'm going to find out if this is worth anything. Blank, because it's never been used, nothing written in it. It's super old, like maybe from the 1800s. But anyway, what we do is we keep an inventory. When the boxes get there, someone has to sign an inventory agreement as manager of the merchandise. That person goes through the inventory, puts everything in there. They describe it. If it's a wire, they put it in there. Every item has the line, not like quantity, 3 wires, but each line has an item, and you can even put approximate value on that. They could estimate a value or whatever, but basically each item is there, and then they scan that and they send that to kalapadesk@gmail.com. That's an inventory list. Then when I go over there, I'll look at the inventory. Do we have this? Do we have that? Do we have that? Because we need certain ingredients. As again, it takes time, talent, and resources. We need the talent of the people, the resources of the equipment, and then we need time. We need patience. Of course, it takes time, sometimes longer than we like, but I like to, take a pace and get the thing done, get the job done, and make it successful. Now, just to do something and get it done and it's all finished, then you sit back, it's done, then what? Part of the blessing, the joy of any project is doing it. It's doing the project. I loved working up at Meadow Springs those 13 years because it taught me a lot. I had little help from family and relatives who were expert builders, but and they were critical of me, but it taught me a lot. I learned that I'm not a builder. I learned that I don't know very much about it, but I keep trying, and I'm a visionary. And I get excited about making projects work that help people survive, provide a livelihood, an income, and also a mission, and expose people to the little nuggets of blessings and treasures that we really grow too accustomed to in this country, like this special music that's playing, a Vitamix, a blender, a waffle iron, a stove. I want to just insert this. It's really important that we teach the people over there how to use the sun. We're talking about a country that's in the sun almost all the time. So you can take a cardboard box with tinfoil, open the flaps, put a plexiglass over it, and bake bread. Over 400 degrees will accumulate in that box. You can bake bread, you can cook rice, you can make muffins, you can cook all kinds of stuff, cook vegetables. So when this curly fry thing, and you put the sayotes and the different things in there and make that, one of the keys to cooking stuff also is to make it a little bit smaller. Cut it down, shred it up, stuff like that. And of course, you don't have to cook it either. But with beans and rices, if you can sprout them or soak them, and then you low cook them in the sun, brothers and sisters, God is so good. He gives us the things in nature. He gives us the sun to cook with. You've got wood if it's raining or it's in a colder area. But like I was reading a little bit ago from a beautiful passage there about drugs. It's really interesting. There's a very sweet and kind man on this island that continually comes up to one of our guests and says, "Are you taking your medications? Are you taking your medications?" Now, it's interesting because this particular person actually is from the denomination that I have been raised in, which is initially really kind of pro-nature, pro those things, and not drugs. Now, I'm not going to say what I believe at this point. What I'm going to say is I'm all in favor of and all for the patient getting well and feeling better and being happy and healthy. That's what I'm for, okay? Whatever works. If it truly works, But we're finding out with the side effects of medications and drugs, they're not really working too well. In fact, on mainstream television today, the state of Ohio, which we have a headquarters there for our projects, is in a serious, they were saying that I forget how many people die every day, hundreds every week, from prescription drug overdoses, from drugs that the doctor's giving them. In that state, it's become a major problem. In fact, it's such a problem with certain drugs like OxyContin, which is basically a horrible, I mean, you can look at it like heroin or like a street drug, but it's legalized. So we need to realize, and President Gloria there in the Philippines started realizing and really protected and wants to do something to help the Filipino people because of the lack of money they have. Understand that they have natural resources in plants. The malunggay leaf, the garlic, mango leaves, so many native plants carry all of these properties in them that are incredibly beneficial and healing and will save a person's life. So we need to look towards nature. And ultimately, if you can remember this one fact, all health, all true healing comes from God. Not that pill, not that plant. It's merely an obedience to God's laws. It's merely a faith and a trust in God. And then he does his part. There's several examples in the Bible, of course, with Lazarus. Roll away the stone. So they did, and Lazarus came to life. Washing the eyes, mud on the eyes, different things that were done. Dip in the river. They did, and they were well. Was it the water? Was it the spittle and the mud on the eyes? No. It was the fact that they obeyed God. They did what he said, and they got well. So I want to encourage you to do that. And if it's money that's motivating you, you know what? It's not worth it. Not worth it, brothers and sisters. Money is not worth it. God bless.